Yo, what it do? It's me. It's that wrestling dude. And I'm joined here by a dude holding all the gold. Current
Yeah,
Fortitude Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Champion, Mid Atlantic Territory Wrestling Tag Team Champion, both as one half of XLG with GEMSTONE.
yes,
And we
sir.
can't forget he's holding the reign and defending Ring Wars Carolina World Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, G-Money. Welcome, bro.
What is good, my brother? What is good? How you living, man? What is
Good,
great,
good, man. Good, man. Not as good as you, though, with all that gold.
man? Look, hey, hard work pays off, man. Let me just say that. You know what I'm saying? And let me just quickly say, shout out to you, man, because like you showed so much love to Ring Wars Carolina, man, and like you've done a lot for the guys, and we appreciate you.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate it,
saying?
man. You got some good ass guys over there, man. It's easy when you got good guys.
Absolutely,
All right, man. So
absolutely.
so let's get into this, man. Who trained you? How long you been in the biz, and where you based out of?
All right, so let me do my intro. What's great in the state? It is the radio rock star, the radio rap star, your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. It is the voice of choice that makes the ladies noise. The Ring Wars Carolina World Heavyweight Champion and the Mid Atlantic Territory Wrestling one half the World Tag Team Champions, one half of the FWE Fortitude Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Champions. G-Money's in the house. Watch your mouth. That's number one. Look, I was trained by Nightstick Eddie Brown, who was trained by Steve Carino, the king of old school. So I'm under the Steve Carino learning tree. You know what I'm saying? Based out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I've been wrestling. I started training September 1st, 2019, and I had my first match I think it was May 3rd or May 4th, 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. So active for about 5 years.
Damn, come a long way in the 5 years.
Man, a whole lot has happened. A
Yeah.
whole lot
Well,
has happened,
it
man.
makes sense, man. You under the king of old school's learning tree, man. I love me, Steve Carino.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. And look, and I feel like Nightstick Eddie Brown, like he's actually, Nightstick, my main trainer, Nightstick Eddie Brown. And then I've trained with other guys like my man Victor Andrews. I think now he's going by Roosevelt the Fighter. I've trained under Lodi for a little bit, trained with C.W. Anderson, Preston Quinn. There's just like I have a lot of like Eddie's my trainer, and then I feel like I have a lot of wrestling mentors, you know. So it's just, what they say, it takes a village.
Absolutely, man. That's good, man. That way you're not end up being one dimensional, man. You pick a little bit from everybody.
Exactly. That's how I am.
Yes, sir. So let me hear your wrestling origin story, man. How'd you get into wrestling?
Man, look, I've been a fan since I could walk. My mom told me when I told her that I was starting to wrestle, she said, I used to take you to the Cumberland County Civic Center to watch wrestling when you was 3, 4, 5 years old. I don't remember any of those shows. but I grew up a big Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Bret Hart, Booker T. Like The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time, man. I've been watching wrestling since whatever. When I was young, all I cared about was basketball and wrestling. That's all I cared about. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even realize I had a chance to wrestle until I was already an adult. But the way I came across it is, so I worked at a radio station, Foxy 99, the big stick out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I worked in radio. I was a radio DJ for 17 years. And Fayetteville is not the biggest city, but we get shows. So WWE would come to town every year, at least once a year.
Yeah.
So they would give us tickets, and they give us the chance to interview like some of the stars. So and like when people found out that I was a wrestling fan, that kind of became my thing. So I've interviewed guys like R-Truth, Charlotte Flair, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Santino Marella, Tommaso Ciampa, like just Dominic Mysterio, lots of guys. So they would come through to the station, they do their thing, and then we get tickets. So I'm always going to shows.
Yeah.
I'm going to whenever they come around, and then I'll go out of town. Like I went to WrestleMania in 2018 in New Orleans. But one of my best friends, actually, two of my best friends used to go with me all the time. One of them you may have heard of. He goes by the name Psycho Boy Fodder.
Yeah.
And actually, so me and him used to go to like lots of shows together. And we kind of made a pact. Like he was like, man, if you ever find a place to train, you let me know. And if I find, I'll do the same. So he's the one who came across Ring Wars Carolina. And then the following week I was there. That's how I got in. The other guy his name is J5. And right now he lives in Germany. And like I went to WrestleMania with him. And it was kind of the same thing. Once I had already started wrestling and I told him, he was like, okay, I'm going in. And actually he helped me get overseas to Germany. So like, it's just, everything just comes full circle, man. Like, I've known Nightstick and his partner at the time, Hang Time, for like a long time. They had invited me to come out and do a show, not to be a guest ring announcer in 2015. I mean, a guest timekeeper in 2015. So I had been involved. Then I started my own wrestling podcast called Smash the Mat. That's kind of another way I got in, because there's another wrestler that I work with, one of my best friends, Mr. Magnificent. And he does the Stone Cold Steve Harvey gimmick right now. But when we first started the podcast, we would just be talking wrestling. After a while, James Hunter, he's a ref James Hunter. He was like, hey, man, would you guys like to help us sponsor the show? So we ended up doing it. And when we went to the show, we took our commentary stuff, our broadcast stuff, and we're like, what are we going to do while we're out here just watching this show? And then one of us was like, man, let's just talk about the show. So we started doing our own commentary for the shows, and then we'd release them as episodes. And after that first one, like, it became a thing. So, and that was what, 2017, 18-ish. So before I actually started training, we would go to shows and do live commentary. We'd release it as episodes. And we was doing pretty well with that. So, honestly, my first couple of years after I started training, I did more commentary than I did wrestling. So it's like, you find whatever way you can get in, man.
Yeah, but that's good though, because it kind of helps you like kind of lay the foundation once you get into the ring. Because if you're able to call it like that while watching them, then it should make it easier once you get inside the ring, right?
Oh man, look, and you discover how hard commentary is, because commentary is hard. And then you understand the importance of commentary, because they're there to tell the story. They keep you engaged. Like, you can watch a match without commentary and you might feel a kind of way, but you might see it with good commentary and feel completely different, man. Commentary is shout out to all the guys out there that do commentary. I think they're like the unsung heroes of the wrestling industry.
Yeah. So how'd you get make the leap into the actually get in the ring? Was it just you kind of progressed from guest timekeeper, then you started doing commentary, and you're like, fuck it, what's the next step? Is just to get in the ring, or just something always in the back of your head?
Yeah,
like, if I get the opportunity, I'm hopping in there.
Yeah, right. I mean, it kind of was that. So to take a step back, me and Mr. Magnificent used to work at the radio station, and he actually started training around 2008. And I knew him then, but I didn't know him like that. So when he told me he was going, I was like, man, I didn't really believe him. I was like, yeah, whatever. Then I saw that he was doing it. I was like, oh, okay. But I never followed suit. So now when I'm talking to Fodder at the time, I call him Low Keys. And like when he told me, he's like, man, come through. This is what we said we want to do. So we just showed up, and that's how we got in. We started that way. We started out as a tag team called Bro Force, and after the video game, and and it just went from there.
You're natural day one.
I feel like it, man. I felt like I was. Like, obviously, I didn't know this from that, but I was a natural athlete. So like the footwork, I understood the footwork pretty fast. And like some of the techniques I got, and see, and in comparison, right? Fodder wasn't an athlete like that, but he took to it as well. Because I personally feel like if you're an athlete, you can like you'll take to the wrestling training a little bit easier. But he wasn't really that much of an athlete, but he was coordinated. There's a big
Yeah.
difference. If you're coordinated, you can do that. And he's got probably he probably has the best memory of any person I've ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
so if you say something to him, he'll remember it and then he'll get it. So like we kind of picked up pretty fast, so.
Yeah. What was the hardest part at the beginning?
I'm sorry?
What was the hardest part at the beginning?
Man, dog, the bumps. Like, let me tell you, after getting your body used to taking bumps
Yeah.
and running the ropes, like after my first week of running ropes, bro, I had bruises on my side. I had plantar fasciitis in my right foot for like 2 months, man. Like it was very painful. But once your body gets used to it, after that, it's fine.
Yeah, because I mean it's a weird thing that your body's really not used to. Because imagine just falling flat on your back is like it's got to be the weirdest, unnatural thing to ever kind of
Yeah.
do.
And then we do it on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
why would you even put your body through that? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
So
But
you came in as a bro force when you first broke in. Were you always G-Money? What was your first name when you broke in?
man, I was always, man, I've been G-Money since high school, since middle
Okay.
school, actually. So like that was my nickname because everybody in my neighborhood had a nickname, and I think New Jack City was popular, even though I was like a kid around the time that came out. So my name was Greg G-Money. Everybody had, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I changed the way I spelled it in high school, because of AOL or Yahoo or whatever. When I created my first email, I didn't want my name to be G-Money 046891011. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I changed the E to an I, and it was just easy. That's
Yeah.
that's the spelling. But like when I got in radio, like I was when I was in college, I was G-Money. When I was in radio, like I just kept the name, and even when I started DJing, DJ G-Money. So when I got to wrestling, that was like I thought it doesn't make sense I already have a brand. Why would I change? You know what I'm saying? So now now I'm a wrestling DJ or a DJing wrestler or whatever, but it works out.
Yeah. How'd you get into the radio business?
Man, I knew when I was younger that I wanted to do some form of entertainment. I just knew. And so when I went to college, I went to Fayetteville State University. Attitude check, Broncos, right? But when I got there, I originally went for computer science. I got to a point where all my teachers were foreign and I couldn't understand anything. And before I failed, I just switched majors. I wanted to do TV, but where I lived at, there was not a TV station close by. So I did an internship at the college radio station. And then one of my homies was like, yo, man, why don't you just come with me over to, the main radio station of the city, the big one in the city. Went over there. And as soon as I walked in, man, I fell in love, man. Like I was in there for 10 minutes listening to them do their thing. And they explained to me it's theater of the mind. You know what I'm saying? Like you can create any scenario and you can paint a picture on radio and they can't see it, but you can visualize it. And
Yeah.
so that's where I've been ever since.
We got another DJ in the comments here. I know so much DJs the same name, G-Money. My question is, you know who the original G-Money is? That's from DJ Magic J from the UK.
Yo, Magic J, what's good? How you living? I have no idea who the original G-Money is.
I'm gonna have to Google that shit later.
I've Googled myself before.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a lot of rappers, DJs, whatever named G-Money. And the crazy thing is, I think that a lot of my friends make fun of the fact that I put the I in there but it actually makes me stand out.
Absolutely.
Because nobody else spells money with an I. So yeah.
Nice.
I need to find out who the original G-Money was.
That's some homework for later. Shout out to AOL Instant Messenger coming up with the screen names like that.
Showing my age out here, boy.
Yeah, hey, same. I was a ghetto fat boy up until I was in my early 20s, and I called the bank.
Ghetto fat boy.
I called the bank, and the lady's like, "All right, what's your email?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, GAE." Started spelling it out, and you hear that awkward silence. I'm like, "I need a grown up email."
Yes, absolutely. That's real.
Yeah. What's your go-to song to get everybody dancing?
My go-to, man, it's crazy because it depends on the situation, right? Mm-hmm. So like, obviously, I DJ hip hop, right? I worked at a hip hop station, but for 4 years, from what was it, 2016 to 2019 or 2015 to 2019. I DJ'd at Campbell University, which is in Lillington, North Carolina, which is it's a PWI. So it's a different, it was a different vibe for them. Chain smokers closer used to get them going crazy before the athletes came. Like it's crazy because I knew how to DJ a certain way for this group, and then when everybody came in, so like before like the athletes and all that came in, like I could hit them with the pop and the rock, the Mr. Brightsides and whatever. But then when I play closer, something about that song, man, I if I could find them videos on my Instagram, they just take over. Now, man, look, nowadays, what is my go-to? My go-to has changed so much over the years because of culture, man. It doesn't change from probably something from see me, I like playing twerk music.
All right.
I like to see women dance, so it would probably be a twerk song. Some
Yeah.
twerk song of some sort is usually gonna get them right.
Can't hit on that, man. Can't hit on that at all.
Nah, I can't do it.
What if you had to tell somebody to go check out one of your matches, what would it be?
This is a funny question because I low-key hate a lot of my matches because I watch them and I'm like, I could have did better. But my current favorite match is me versus LeBron Cozone from it's actually on my YouTube channel. And I have a lot of matches that I need to put on my YouTube, but me versus LeBron Cozone last May. It was a match for my back then I was the RWC television champion, and he came and challenged me, and like he was a guy I wanted to face because first off, he's an amazing wrestler himself. He's doing great work with Deadlock Pro Wrestling and everywhere, and he's been on AEW. He's done all that stuff. But plus, he trained Griff Garrison at AEW. He trained Jay Von Evans, who we knew as Jay Malachi. You know what I'm saying? He's got the respect of like everybody in not even just the Carolinas, just the whole wrestling industry. So I just knew, I was like, I gotta wrestle that guy, and he made me up my game. So like, yeah, LeBron Cozone. That was one of my favorite matches. If there's one that I would suggest is that one. Even though there's a lot of shenanigans afterwards, like that match. Yeah, absolutely.
Go check it out on your YouTube channel. I'll put the links on there.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
just like that. G-Moniy. Yeah.
G-Moniy. What would you describe your ring style as?
So I would so if the crowd is rocking with me, you could say, I would say like kind of like a technical / athletic. I think I have a really nice drop kick. So I'm athletic, I'm technical. I can be a powerhouse. I don't really use as many power moves as I probably should because I think I'm stronger than I look. But yeah, I think so. I wanted to model myself after like Shelton Benjamin. I love Shelton Benjamin, man. Like that's the type of guy I want to like wrestle. Like I don't have the mat wrestling skills like him, but I feel like I might be in the neighborhood of his athleticism. I'm not there, but I'm in the neighborhood. But yeah, I would think of like a kind of like a mix between Shelton Benjamin and I would say like a Booker T, but I am not flexible, dog. Like he be throwing them kicks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now if the crowd is not rocking with me and I'm a heel, bro, it gets a whole lot simpler. I don't do a lot. I do a whole lot of talking.
Yeah.
Like Gemstone will tell you, when we wrestle, if we're heels, I just talk. You know, it's my job to get the crowd riled up, and I'll do that. I let him do the heavy lifting, and I do all the talking. I rile everybody up, and I'm really good at that.
Yeah, that's good, man. I mean, that's half the battle, more than half the battle, I think.
Yeah, and look, but for me, like I know somebody asked me one time, what do I like wrestling as, face or heel? I like them both because I don't know if I like one more than the other. Because as a face, like one thing about wrestling is you have to like discover who you are, you know, and like what's your character? What's this and what's that? Like I'm me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a gimmick. It's not a character. Like I just turn it up to 100. So when I use like if you watch LeBron match, you know, when I tell the crowd, when I say, hey yo, I need y'all to say, all right, hey yo, all right. They don't like that. Well, the guy wrestling doesn't like that. So then when I hit him with a move, pow, how you like that? Hey yo, all right. And then you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it works for me. Now, for some reason, the crowds of Virginia don't take to me too well. So when I show up in Virginia, I had a match in Colonial Beach, Virginia, and it was like, yo, this is the worst beach I've ever been to. There's no palm trees, there's no ice cream, there's nothing. They're upset at me, and I'm like, look, I'm looking around, and I'm like, you know, they say Virginia's for lovers, but I'm looking around this place, and it looks like Virginia's for losers tonight. You know, and like they booed me out the building. But it is like charisma is like natural to me. I talk for a living.
Yeah, you talk for a
You know
living.
what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like I can figure it out. Whatever you need me to do, I can figure it out. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's a great skill to have, man. Because a lot of people don't got that, and a lot of people, it doesn't come natural. They got to work at it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so
what's your finisher?
My finisher it's called the remix. Now, growing up, I was a huge fan of Test. I love Test, and I love the Test drive. I always wanted to do the Test drive. Now, rest in peace to Test. You know, when I got into wrestling, I wanted to do the Test drive. But there's this guy. You may have heard of him. I think his name was like Cody Rhodes or something. But his move is like a version of that, and I wanted to do that. And it was, even though he wasn't even back with WWE at the time, but Cody Rhodes was popular. So now it's pretty much the same. So, you know, he'll take the crossroads and he'll go around and over. What I do is I take that reverse DDT clutch and I spin this way. I take a back bump and they take it's like a rolling cutter pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my finisher. It's called the remix. Our tag finishers, we had to pay tribute to Crime Time. So one of our finishers is the G-9. So I'll get them up top. Jim will do the flipping blockbuster. And our other one, we call it the Carolina Smash. It's where I get somebody up in spine buster position. He comes off the rope with a Claymore type rocket kick. He calls it the 24 karat kick. Boom. Double impact, hit the ground. That's where we're at.
All right. So speaking of the tag team, man, go ahead and put your boy over. And how'd you guys link up?
Man, look, my dog, my tag team partner, my brother, my rival, Gemstone. Man, he was at Ring Wars Carolina training facility when I got there. He was already there. He had been wrestling. See, I got there in 2019. I think he said he had got there sometime late 2017, early 2018. So he had already been wrestling for a while. So I think when I got there, he was the heavyweight champion. But he is an amazing athlete. You know what I'm saying? His drop kick might possibly considerably might be better than mine. We're here. It depends on the day. Some days mine is better. Other days his is better. We had in 2022, we wrestled at least 7 times, man. Like we had a feud going on. We wrestled each other so much that when we near the end of the year, I think we had wrestled probably like 5 times before the fall. And then there was this show in November, and we was like, oh, we got to wrestle again. It's like, all right, so what match, bro? 2, 3, 4, like which one you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? But not to put myself over, but I put him through a table, and that ended our feud in December of 22. But what ended up happening was, so obviously we train together, so we know each other.
Yeah.
But it was around the time that the Control Your Narrative deal was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a part of CYN after their second show. And Father was a part of that. He's who got me in there. So doing that, when they finally came around to North Carolina, there was a show they did at AML. It was CYN versus AML. The first time we tagged was in a 10-man tag team. It was me and Gemstone. This was the first time we had ever tagged. Now, even though there's 3 other guys, but I think something had happened where I was tagged a guy in. I shot somebody to the corner, to the rope. He comes off, and I shot him over and did a drop down. When the dude jumped over me, Gemstone hit him with a drop kick. And we was like, oh, did you see that? And after that, like, I don't know if EC3 said anything to my trainer, or if my trainer said something to him like, hey, like, we might need to put them together.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was that was, when was that? That was late 22. So our trainer was like, you know what? We think we want to try you out as a tag team. And so we decided, I think we both weren't really doing much. We were doing stuff singles wise, but outside of Ring Wars, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So we came up with the name XLG, and we actually had our first match as an official tag team at the NWA Crockett Cup in 2023.
Oh, nice.
It was a dark match, and it was I'm going to forget everybody's name, and they're going to hate me for this. It was a 8-man tag. It was us, Garrison Creed, and man, I can't remember that dude's name. Oh my gosh. And we went up against Zuka King, Jackson Drake, Hunter something. And I can't remember the other guy's name because I'm a terrible person. That was the first, and like so all of our promo pics are from that show in 2023. Like, because NWA took really great pictures. So that was the first time we had ever tagged. Like, first time we wore our tag gear and everything.
Yeah.
And we went out there, we did our thing. And ever then that was June of 23. And then I think we had our first booking with Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling, which had actually just started in March of 23. But our first booking with them was in August of 23. And after that, like, man, Preston Quinn, and at the time, Preston Quinn and C.W. Anderson, they were the Extreme Horsemen. And we did a seminar, a tag team seminar, and they was like, hey, if you guys ever come up, we can use you. And ever since August of 23, we've been mainstays at Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling and other places. So
nice. XLG, does that stand for something?
We leave it up to interpretation. It could be extra large gentlemen, extremely lovely G's, whatever works. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I wish I could tell you the science behind the name, but like, we threw so much stuff around. I just know that it sounds good together, XLG. And then someone was like, "Oh yeah, extra large," and I was like, "No, that." I was like, "Damn, that is kind of a thing." Whatever.
Yeah, but you guys are killing it. Back in November, you won the Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling Tag Team Champions, right?
Yes.
Who'd you beat for that?
It took us a long time because we were like, Mid-Atlantic in 2024 had an extremely awesome tag team division. We had to deal with the Real Life Freaks. They had Whiskey Business out there. The tag champs, the inaugural tag champs was Bad Magic, Chris Phoenix and Nathan Cross. There were some other tag teams. We had to like fight and claw our way to get there. And then every time we did, those extremely sneaky Bad Magic guys, they just kept finding a way to get past us. And then November 23rd, we found a way. We had a mastermind. We had a plan. We executed that plan, and we became the Mid-Atlantic Territory Tag Team Champions. Yeah. Then we went to Germany and made them the World Tag Team Champions.
What promotion did you wrestle for in Germany?
In Germany, we wrestled two shows in Germany. It was Outlaw Wrestling Germany and ACW. I feel like I've wrestled for like 4 different companies called ACW. Like, yeah. So I feel like they were called All Combat Wrestling.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've wrestled for at least 3 or 4 ACWs. But Outlaw, let me see. Outlaw Wrestling Germany. As soon as we got off the plane, November 30th. As soon as we got off the plane, 4 hours later we had a show.
Yeah.
So that was November 30th, and then December the 7th, it was ACW. I'm saying I know it. I don't know if it's all combat wrestling because I wrestled for a promotion in Florida called ACW, and then there's one here in North Carolina called ACW. I can't remember everybody's specific names, but I want to say it's all combat, but I feel like I might be wrong. So
You remember what cities you're in?
yes, Outlaw Wrestling Germany. We were in. It was called what it was told to us. It was Black Forest, but it was another name, but they called it Black Forest as a nickname. And in ACW, we were in Weinheim.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you like Germany? Because I was born there.
Oh, you were? Where were you born?
Yeah, Würzburg, in northern like Bavaria. That was in the military, so lived there, moved to the States, and went back. I was through kindergarten through second grade, man. I mean, being that young was awesome, but I can only imagine going back as an adult.
Man, look, culture shock for real, bro.
I bet it was.
Like, that's a whole nother episode. But the first show, so we were heels on one show, faces on another. The first show, Outlaw Wrestling, we were heels. And like when we came out, not trying to be funny, but there's not a lot of black wrestlers out there.
Yeah.
But like, so we came out there, was like, oh yeah. So like, and this is what I tell Jim all the time. Like when we go places, because we look good together. Like we look like we wrestle. We're big, we're strong, we're athletic, we have matching gear. People naturally will see us and be like, oh yeah, I like those guys. And then we have to be like, no, like nah, like hey kid, psych. Now we have to be dicks. You know what I'm saying? So once they understood, like once we introduced Germany to the loser section, which was all around the ring, all the fans were in the loser section. Once we introduced them to the loser sections, then they started booing us, and they were chanting stuff that I don't know what they were chanting because I don't, you know what I'm saying. But it was a really great match. Oh my god, amazing match. And then in Weinheim, we were faces. So it was super easy because we came out, they're like, oh yeah, we're like, that's right. That's right. Yeah, slap hand. So two great matches. Shout out to my boy J5, man, because we was able to stay in Stuttgart, and he was the one who put the word in for us. So like we took that trip on our own dime, you know what I'm saying? They paid us, of course, but like just getting the chance to travel abroad, wrestle internationally, you know what I'm saying? So it was amazing.
Is it hard to wrestle in front of a crowd that most people don't speak English and have no idea what you're saying?
Nah, it wasn't. If anything, it made it easier because I could talk more shit and they don't know what I'm talking about. They understood the most important thing. Like they know enough English. They knew enough. So if I call them losers, okay, they know to boo me. Or if I say, hey guys, come on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they understood enough. I just didn't understand what the hell they were saying.
What's
English?
What's your best story from Germany that you're allowed to tell?
My best story from Germany. Oh man.
Because I mean, my dad we lived in the 80s. Well, he lived in the 80s too. And he's got wild stories. His is like wild live sex shows and like a stage. Like you go to an auditorium, there's a stage, like a play stage, and they're like fucking on the stage or like ridiculous stuff like that over there. Driving down the Autobahn, pulling over and getting pulling booze out the trunk and getting sloppy and keep driving on the Autobahn.
You know what? There's a story I want to tell. One of them I definitely can't tell. One story, like the first show we did in Black Forest. See, I don't drink, right? I don't drink. And Germans are known for drinking.
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's after our match. First off, they had both shows had 10 matches, bro. That's crazy. 2 intermissions. I'm not used to that. It was 3 matches, intermission, 3 matches, intermission, whatever. And also, let me say, both times we had long ass lines. People were like, they were wowed by us. One thing I have to say is like, it's funny because they don't get a lot of black wrestlers over there. My boy J5, man, looks nothing like Kofi Kingston. He just got long hair that is twisted.
Yeah.
So they're like, Kofi Kingston. And then they look at me like, Biggie. No. But that first show, they brought us like a 24 pack of beer. They're like, hey man, this is y'all. Just take it. And I'm looking at this like, who the hell about to drink all this beer?
Yeah.
I ain't doing it. But they had so much of it, and everybody just like, yeah.
Yeah. And that's real beer too. It ain't
It's
no American
real
watered
beer.
down beer. Yeah.
Yeah, dog. I'm gonna say this: one of the funniest things to me, it didn't even happen at a show. So like, my boy, he's stationed over there, and he's like, man, I got to play this intramural game or whatever. And so we went to his intramural game, and it's these. They're on base. There's two teams playing ball, whatever. Something happens. Coach, the ref makes a bad call. It was a bad call. This dude gets upset. He's complaining. He's like, man, this is BS. So they're about to throw him out. The MP is like, bro, I'm just here chilling.
Yeah.
Dude is like, man, I've been playing ball overseas for 14 years. I ain't never seen no mess like that. And I'm sitting there and I looked at it, I was like, 14 years. And I'm like, dog, it's not like you're playing. It's not like they're playing with like a jersey with a team name on it and numbers and a stadium. It's a blank recreation jersey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I was like, bro, have you been in the Army overseas all this time and this is what you're doing? And it gave me the realization. I was like, bro, these soldiers that are stationed in non-war areas.
Yeah.
Non-war areas. I'm not talking about the ones that was in Iraq and Kuwait, because I grew up right next to Fort Bragg, which is Fort Liberty, which is about to be Fort Bragg again.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends deployed in the war zones. But the guys in Korea, in Japan, in Germany, in Italy, man, these mugs is chilling, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, they get a slice of Americana on the base, and then they just be doing whatever, man. Like, salute to them.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at them, bro. Like, but them dude, like, that's why I see it. I see it. Them boys is chilling, man.
Chilling.
I love them for it, man, because hey, you work the system.
No, absolutely. Because imagine in Germany, you hop on the weekend, you get a pass, you hop on the train and go anywhere in Europe or anywhere in Asia, almost on the train, and so usually the time is only a couple hour train ride in a different country.
No, real talk. Like, just like you, I could have lived in. No, my dad told me the only reason I didn't live in Germany is because he didn't like his unit, because he was stationed there for 3 years when I was born.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I totally understand, man. But yeah, Germany was awesome, bro. I could talk for about 2 hours about Germany, bro. It was great.
Yeah, and I need to go back to my old roots.
Yes, man. You gotta go back. You have to.
You came back December 14th. You guys beat La Resistance for the Fortitude Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team Championship, man. What was that like stepping in the ring with such an experienced team like that?
First, before I even get to that, the match, the number one contender tag team match, and I forgot to mention this. We faced off against Chase Emery and Mark Jindrak. And like, Mark Jindrak is a former WWE guy, and he was a former CMLL tag team champion, WCW tag champion. Before I get to La Resistance, Mark Jindrak might be the easiest guy I've ever worked with. Like, he's big and strong. Like, he didn't kill me, thank God. You know what I'm saying? He's athletic as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just got nothing but praise for Mark Jindrak. He is the man, yo. Like, he's one of the most, like, I don't want to tell too much, you know what I'm saying? But like, that man he know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we faced La Resistance, La Resistance, they had so Sylvain had this, he had like a Money in the Bank type of thing, I forget what it was. And Chavo Guerrero was the champion there, and he was having a match against Psycho Boy Fodder and for the FWE title. And La Resistance comes out, and they enter, but the match ain't even started yet, and they jump Chavo, then they jump Fodder, and then he cashes it on Chavo, and he wins the title. He thought that it was just gonna be cool like that. So we come out and we get to brawling. You know what I'm saying? Fun fact, it's the only tag match I've ever wrestled that didn't have a tag in it. I gotta find the video so I can send it. I wish I could have found it before we had this, so I could have sent it to you. Worked the whole match without a tag. I don't know how, but it worked. But La Resistance, like, the crazy thing was, Sylvain was banged up. Rob Conway was banged up, and talking to guys like that, there's just so much knowledge, man.
Yeah.
so much knowledge. And like even Rob, like you look at a guy like Rob Conway, and I don't know what people think of him, but like this man, when it comes to wrestling, these guys they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like people, I see people like get on other guys about like their move sets. These guys know how to do this stuff. They just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, man, his move set is limited. No, it's not. He just doesn't need to do everything.
Yeah, you know, less is more a lot of times.
Exactly, man. But like
Yeah.
those guys were like the ultimate professionals, man. Like the crazy thing is, from what I was told, that match that we wrestled with them was going to be their last ever tag team match.
Damn.
So like that's
an honor, man. That's an honor.
Yeah, man. It was,
Yeah.
you know, they were happy with it. I was definitely happy with it. You know,
Yeah.
like it was just. I think Jim had wrestled them before with his first tag partner Flex, but like it was more special this time. One, could we beat him, and just two, like for me, I don't get to wrestle guys like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So like listening to how we do things and like, okay, watch out for this. And like we're taught, most wrestlers are expected to call things in the ring. And they did. And like sometimes you just, hey, this and this. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work, man. That is hard work.
Yeah, no, it's a lost art for him too.
It is, man. It is. Like that's one of the things I practice on, trying to call in the ring.
Yeah. Before we get into your upcoming bookings, man, got chosen the chosen one, James Lee, in the chat, man, talking trash. He said G-Money.
Oh, okay.
what you think on, because the up and coming tag team in Ring Wars Carolina, man, him and Roman.
You know what? Let me tell you something. So I understand why they came together. They came together because they just couldn't get it done by themselves. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? When you can't get it done by yourself, you know, you got to latch on to somebody. You know what? We can do it together. And you know what? Good job. You know what I'm saying? I see they inflate their win total like a lot. I could have sworn I just heard them say something about 200-0, and I'm like, you ain't even wrestled 20 matches. Like, where you get 200 from? Like, what is this? And you've definitely lost matches.
Yeah.
But they don't. But you know, revisionist history. I get it. I understand. But I'll give it to them. They do work. They do work hard in training. They do work hard in training. And the best thing for them is that XLG doesn't come to RWC, because if we do, it's a wrap for everybody. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Last time we had them on, there, like you said, rewriting history. Some of them losses they seem to forget about.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I saw those matches with my own eyes. What are you talking about? It made me question myself, because they were so confident. Like, nah, we didn't lose. I didn't tap out the tiger. What are you talking about? And I'm like,
you guys
I could have swore I saw that.
I know you. I seen your videos. I was like, yep, that definitely happened. That definitely. It's on the RWC Instagram page.
Yeah,
it's right there. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's sell some tickets for you, man. February 21st, Extreme World Wrestling's Love Hate Tragedy, Charlotte, North Carolina. You and GEMSTONE facing off against Money Enterprises. Yaha and Ian Maxwell, they're defending their tag team championships against you guys. You guys gonna add some more gold?
Look, it's crazy because I've wrestled for Extreme World Wrestling a couple times as a single star. And I will say this is one of my favorite places to go. And like, I think this is at a bar, Lenny Boy Brewing Company in Charlotte. And I wrestled there last year. Jim was with me, but we didn't do a tag match. I just worked the singles, and that crowd is rabid. They're drunk. And I love it because I can say whatever to them and they're just going to be like, whatever. But as I understand it, Money Enterprises, Yaya and Fast as Hell Ian Maxwell. Look, we actually did a promo for them that I'm going to be dropping tomorrow. And I love XWW, and it's crazy that our debut tag team match is for the titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went straight to the top. So we have 2 tag team championships already. We're gonna have to find room somewhere to add a third, because like we definitely trying to walk up out of there XWW tag team champions, man. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't been there in a while. I know they have their own website. I think it's called extremeworldwrestling.com, but like I think they have all their content up there. But they're also but it's extreme with an X. So it's XTREME, Extreme World Wrestling. Yeah, so
You ever did any hardcore matches? Like not the normal chair or whatever. I'm talking about thumbtacks, light tubes, anything like that.
no.
Would you?
Bro, the check got to be right, bro. Because the most hardcore match I've ever had was against Gemstone, December of 2022, and we were hitting each other with chairs, kendo sticks, cookie pans, tables. That was my one and only. And I don't even think that was hard. I think that was just no DQ.
Yeah,
man. I don't know, man. Like we got to. Before you continue, and I think it might have been 2022. I worked security for a GCW show. They had came around to Concord, and so it's me and it's before he was Xander Keys, but it's Xander Keys and it's Nice Eddie Brown. We went there, because we're just trying to get a spot on the show.
Yeah,
we were the biggest guys there, but we were working security. And there was about 2 to 3 death matches. And one of them was with Kobe Carino. Kobe Carino versus, I can't remember that man's name. But Kobe Carino, that's a bad boy. that man had a light tube and he swung for homeboy's face like he was Barry Bonds. And like the glass came, I'm talking about a piece of glass came this far from my eye, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I won't know if I'm built like that until I get into it.
Yeah, because you wrestlers already got the screws loose anyways to get in the ring, but those deathmatch guys, that's another level, man.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah. Like we said earlier, sometimes less is more. Like sometimes you can just get the same reaction from doing, but you gotta love getting hurt. You gotta love seeing your own blood. You gotta love that shit.
Why would a sane person want to get into a wrestling ring in any capacity?
Yeah.
It don't want to be a hardcore, but like, why would you get into a ring and get yourself beat up? All wrestlers are a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
We're a little bit crazy. We're a little bit off the hinge, So yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
I'm with you. March 29th, Hope Hills, North Carolina for FWE's Full Throttle Anniversary. You and Gemstone versus the Andersons, man. Brock and CW.
Yes.
FTW Tag Team Championship match. You guys got history with the Andersons?
Yeah. Okay, so that's March 15th. Yes. Cary, North Carolina. So the couple times that I trained at Lodi's, Brock Anderson was there. And this is before he made his AEW debut. So it's him and it's Arn and it's the guys, so I got in there with him. This is like 2 years ago, whatever. So I've known Brock for a little bit. I've known CW helped train me. Now, Gemstone has a bone to pick with Brock and CW because he was supposed to wrestle Brock a couple years ago, but I think they had another show. Something happened. They got double booked or something. Same thing with CW. So I know Jim has something against him. Me, I want to wrestle the best tag teams. And the Andersons are one of the best tag teams. And you know what? I feel no better way. What is the best way to defend these FWE tag team championships? You got to put them on the line against the best talent out there. Yeah. So I know the Andersons are doing their thing in MLW and all that. And that's great. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to show that we're going to put everybody on notice as to why XLG is who we are. You know what I'm saying? Why we are the best tag team in the Mid-Atlantic. And the Andersons are going to be the first team to find out that exact reason. As my boy Gemstone says, they're going to have to recognize and step aside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's crazy. CW still going strong, man. And he's in the best shape like he's ever been in his whole career, it seems like.
That man, I feel like he might be a vampire, but I seen him in the sunlight though, because he's been wrestling for 30 some odd years. How do you look younger now than you did 30 years ago?
Yeah.
And he was a professional baseball player. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude is an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? And he can go. and he's got a wicked left hand. And I personally feel like CW has the best spine buster in the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we know we are game planning to not take that.
Smart man. All right, so here we go. Here's the real date for March 29th. You defending your Ring Wars Carolina World Heavyweight Championship against AJ Kazanza. How'd that match come about?
So AJ Kazana he is one half of the NWA US Tag Team Champions with his brother KC Kazana. They're the country gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, AJ Kazana was the RWC Heavyweight Champion back in 2023, but I think he ended up having to. I think he was stripped of the title because he wasn't able to defend it as much as they needed him to. So he never technically lost the belt. So anytime I'm a champion, like with my TV title reign, like I wanted to face the best, and as heavyweight champion, I wanted to face the best. And there was a guy out there that says he never lost a belt. So he claims he probably still would have been the champ. So me and him faced off December 28th at Winter Warfare in Hope Mills. And I had him beat, but his brother KC had to come out, and disrupt that. Now, Alex Bryant came to my rescue, So we decided that we were going to challenge them for the NWA US Tag Team Championships. And that was the first show of January for Ring Wars Carolina. During that match, all hell broke loose. Ref gets knocked out. And then AJ clocks me with his championship belt and pins me. Now, because he pinned me, however he did it, it doesn't matter how he did it, but he did it. Because of that, now he feels like he's the rightful RWC heavyweight champion. So now I am going to make a request to not just wrestle a match, but wrestle a special type of match. I haven't quite figured out what kind of match I'm going to challenge him to yet. But March 29th in Hope Mills, me and AJ Kazana, we're going to find out once and for all who is the real RWC World Heavyweight Champion.
You gotta get him in like a bull rope match.
You know what? You know what's crazy? That's kind of what I've been thinking about.
Beat at his own game, man. You gotta beat that country boy at his own game.
It's like I was like, what kind of match? And I was thinking about a Texas bull rope match or maybe a Carolina bull rope match.
Bull rope match.
I'm thinking that might be. I don't know, man. We right here, so we might be right there. I'm really liking that idea.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So,
all right, March 8th, Yorktown, Virginia.
Yes.
You're defending your Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling Tag titles there, right? Do you know against who?
I'm not sure. One fun thing about Mid-Atlantic is that we never know who we're facing till we show up. So our first defense in January was against the Flipping Problems. They're a new tag team from Virginia. They're young and hungry. And I think we wrestled them probably 3 or 4 times before we won the titles. But now they fought their way up for that to happen. I know that we just had an issue with Whiskey Business because, they just can't accept the fact that we're on top and they're a second-rate tag team. Hey, look, nobody said, all I'm saying is, yes, Gemstone may have called them alcoholics or something, but if you already drink, so why are you mad? Like the dude had a flask in his hand. So, you know what I'm saying? Call a spade a spade. It is what it is. So I don't know when, but I know we're going to be defending against Whiskey Business at some time. We got them March. Well, I know the thing with MATW is they run about 30 times a year, at least once a month. We have 2 shows with them, March 8th and March 22nd. I'm not sure who we're facing, but I know if we're going to be there, they're going to want us to defend the titles because we are the premier champions in the Mid-Atlantic. I mean, why wouldn't you want us there defending the titles, doing what we do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is there a team out there you want to defend them against?
You know who I would really love? I would really love to face the Infantry. I'm a huge fan of Sean Dean and Carly Bravo. I would love to face the Infantry. I would love to face the Outrunners. I love the Outrunners so much. Matter of fact, we met the Outrunners when they were with NWA, and they said, I remember, I don't remember if it was Magnum or Turbo, one of them. One of them had cut a promo and said one of my all-time favorite lines. And it was random. He was like, if you're anything like me, and I know I am, and I don't remember the rest. I just remember that. And I was like, what? If you're anything like me, and I know I am, and it's just, I just love that. I can't use it because it's already been said. But them, I love to face. There's a lot of teams in North Carolina I love to face, like Abuse of Power, Zuka King, and JAC, or the Dawson brothers. I love to face the Dawson brothers. I love to face, man, honestly, just send them. Just send them. It doesn't matter what promotion it is. If Gemstone and I need to come to your promotion, if we need to come to your promotion, and you just put us up against whoever, man. And look, just like I said earlier, they can recognize and step aside. We coming through. Well, if somebody wants to come to Virginia, because we're definitely the best tag team in Virginia. Matter of fact, we're the best tag team in the Mid-Atlantic region. So if anybody wants to come to Virginia, Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling, and test us, bro, just holler at management. If you want to come to FWE and carry whatever, holler at management. When we win these Extreme World Wrestling Tag Team titles, whatever, bro. Look, we don't duck no smoke. I am also the fade runner. That is one of my personas, the fade runner, bro. What I like to do is run fades. I have no problem running fades on anybody. And Gemstone definitely don't mind. So we will definitely run you a fade if you want some of this. It's really nothing. It's really nothing.
Yeah. Chosen Warrior, stay away though, man. You don't want to have your team already get smashed too early on.
You don't want to mess around and have to add a 250 and one. You know what I'm saying? Or they just gonna have selective memory and forget that they have that match. So whatever it is.
Yeah. All right, champ, before I let you go, one last question for you. What's one thing you know now you wish you knew when you first started?
One thing that I know now that I wish I knew, how much, probably, I wish I knew how easy wrestling would be if you don't try to do every single move that you know. Like when I used to play a lot of WWE 2K.
Yeah.
You know? And like when I created my G-Money character, he could do all this stuff. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be doing springboard everything when I started wrestling. And then when I started wrestling, I did one springboard and I said, hell no, I'm not doing this. Bro, I completely understand Drew Gulak, man. Safe and sound, 2 feet on the ground, bro.
Yeah.
But like what I've really learned is, like, when you can work a crowd, you don't have to do much.
You don't.
Like my whole mindset has changed with wrestling, because all you need, if the crowd is behind you, bro, anything that you do, anything, I can work a match with a shoulder tackle, an up and over, and a drop kick, and I can have people going crazy because I know how to work a crowd now.
Yeah.
Heel or face, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just say guys like Jake the Snake was like that. If you watch him in the ring, he's like, they used to say it's a night off because he never took any bumps, never did anything. It was all the psychology, man. It's all about, doing the littlest things just to get the reaction from the crowd.
Man, it is so wild. Like, I watch wrestling completely different now. And sometimes, probably one of the best matches I've ever had, if I showed it to you, you wouldn't think it's anything. But I wrestled a guy named Ace Montana in Colonial Beach, Virginia. And he's like Dusty Rhodes off of Temu. You know what I'm saying? He's an imposter, You know what I'm saying? Big stomach, all that. So he does that, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We had a match and he was like, I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? He's like, man, we'll see you out there. He's like, all I need you to do is get them to boo you, and I'll take care of it. And that's what I did. That's what I went out there. Oh, this is the worst beach and blah, 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 whatever. And he comes out and he does his thing, and never, the first time I was in a match and this dude, the we will.
Yeah.
So he was just doing the stop, doom, doom, clap, doom, doom, clap. But he got them so hyped, they actually started singing. And like that completely threw me off, because I was like, wait, that wasn't supposed to happen. They're singing. What do I do? Nah, I'm getting out of here, buddy. You know what I'm saying? The match was really nothing, but the match was nothing. There's nothing to write home about, but we had them right here.
Yeah.
When the match was over, like he beat me with a bionic elbow because he cheated. But when the match was over, like I had goosebumps running up and down my arm, and I was like, I've never felt nothing like that before. Like it was, and we get to the back, and he's like, from now on, you're going to be chasing that, and he's not lying. Like they
Yeah.
probably had 2 bumps apiece, you know what I'm saying? And so now I can work a style, I can work a match where we don't do any bumps at all, or we can do the a bunch of bumps, whatever works, you know what I'm saying? But like when you can work a match and you have the crowd literally eating out the palm of your hands, like that is the most awesome feeling. Like I'm trying to get those goosebumps again. I don't know
Yeah.
how to do it, but I'm trying to do it.
Yeah. Well, like we had August Artois on. He's the FIP world champ down in
Oh my
Florida.
God. I
Yeah.
love August Artois. That's my
Yeah.
dog, man.
And he faced Rich Swann and recently, and he said like the first 10 minutes was just them in the ring, back and forth, just staring at each other and like, let's go August, let's go Swann. Like it was just back and forth like 10 minutes, like the greatest thing ever. It's like I didn't even do nothing. It was probably one of my best matches ever.
And then I think they danced.
Yeah, they danced. Yeah.
Yeah, like bro, like yo, August is that's my guy. He be doing the most, but I love it. I love it, man. Yo, bro, y'all see the name right there, man. On all social media platforms, G_MONIY, the YouTube G_MONIY, Instagram. I got a fan page, the G-Moniy fan page, or the Greg G-Moniy Johnson. Always GMONIY, man. You know what I'm saying? Also, follow Ring Wars Carolina because that's my home promotion, and I run the YouTube and the Instagram.
Okay.
So I wear many hats. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get everybody over, man.
Yes,
So,
sir.
And the XLG, XLG has a tag team page. XLG_ is in the house. XLG is in the house. Watch your mouth.
Awesome.
Yeah, bro. Booked all year long. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, dog.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys coming on. Go follow him, Ring Wars Carolina. I'll put all the links down there. That wrestling dude, DODD everywhere. G-Moniy, man. I really appreciate you coming on again, man. Thank you very much.
He's a DODD.
Yes, sir.
You know what it is, man. Appreciate you, man. G-Moniy in the house.
Man.
Watch your mouth. You know what time it is.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good night. Appreciate it again.